This is a HeadGum podcast.
Ooh, baby, welcome to another episode of Why Won't You Date Me, a podcast where me, Nicole Byer, has been trying to figure out how I'm so single or how I was so single, even though you could come in a thimble and tell me it was medicine. My guest today is a comedian, actress, and a writer that you know from CollegeHumor and Dropout. She is also a staff writer on Rick and Morty.
Oh, that's such an old credit.
Okay.
I was a staff writer on Rick and Morty.
No longer, but now is a key player in Dimension 20.
Yes.
And I've known her for years and years and years and years and years and years.
Here's how long we've known each other. This is the Nicole that I first met. One wig, blue contact lenses. She's dead. She died.
I've truly never been read harder in my life. One wig and blue contact lenses. What an awful phase in my life.
I loved
that
it.
No one was like, hey, you look like an alien.
Yes.
You look like you belong in Men in Black.
Here's the thing with UCB at that time, and I don't know if it's changed because I'm not involved with that anymore.
Let me tell everyone your name.
Oh, yes.
Siobhan
Sorry.
Thompson.
Hi, everybody. There was a level of radical acceptance there, which was great. But looking back, I'm like, actually, maybe we should have been telling each other
We should have been telling people, you don't look good.
Hey.
You look scary.
The blue contact lenses make you look like you're like a character from Third Rock from the Sun if that show had any black people in it whatsoever.
I've never seen that show, and I know it was on for a long
great.
time.
I am thinking back. I watched all of it. I do not think that there was a single black person on that show ever.
I think there's a lot of shows where there's no black people, which
Yeah.
is crazy because like black people are everywhere.
They're all over the place.
There's one right here. Siobhan,
What?
can I ask you a question? Are you single right now?
I'm so single.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dating here in LA,
It's bad.
it's not fun.
And here's the thing about it that I've found most frustrating. And at this point, I'm just abdicated from the situation.
That's a good
If
word.
a man falls into my lap, what am I going to do? Say no?
You go, sir, are you okay?
But I'm not out looking
Uh-huh.
because I think that the men in Los Angeles have forgotten that dating should be fun. And there is an attitude of they're trying to get one over on me.
They're trying to trick
These
you.
women are trying to trick me into having a nice dinner. How dare they?
Just get really confused. I was in a situationship for a very long time where this person wouldn't say they were my boyfriend, but they were doing boyfriend things.
That's so stupid.
I don't get it.
Why? Why? I don't understand the logic of it. What power do you think that you're giving away by saying, actually, I like this person?
Yeah, well, I mean, they said that they liked me. We even, we said
But only in private.
well, yeah.
They're don't post me on Insta.
Oh, absolutely not. I couldn't, because how could they be single to other people?
Right.
It's just but I don't understand the whole, what is the phrase, having your cake and eating it too?
Yes.
It's you want to look at your cake, but then you want to eat the cake.
And especially right now, I love polyamory for other people. I love it for them. They seem to be having such a nice time. It's simply not for me.
No.
I like being in a relationship. It's fun. I like going to the movies with somebody and doing a little bit. You know?
It's nice.
And not being oh, you can't hang out with me because you're hanging out with
your other girlfriend?
Freya or whatever the fuck you're.
Who?
I fully pulled a name out of my
You
head.
said Freya?
I said, oh, that's an English.
Frida?
Freya is a very English
Freya.
name that is not a name in this country.
Wait, when did you move to the States?
The States. So my mom moved here when I was 17 and a half, which is how I got a green card. My stepdad's from glamorous Orange County, California.
Ooh.
Heard of it? Dana Point.
Okay.
They were the only Democrats in the neighborhood. There was one other Democratic family, and everybody else was very scary
It's
Republicans.
a very, very red place.
It's a red place.
So you got here at 17
So I got
and
here
a
at
half.
17 and a half.
So did
right
you
under
date
the,
at all in England?
in the UK? Only in the way that, and I went to university in the UK because it was free. It was only 3 years. And I was like, I don't want to go to university. And my mom is a professor, and she was like, I don't know what to say to you if you don't get a degree, and preferably a PhD. And
Do you
to the
have a
same
PhD?
No, I barely
Wait.
got through my degree.
So wait, a degree in England or the UK?
Yeah.
Why do you call it the UK, not England?
Because those two are different things. Wow. Welcome to the Siobhan Explains. So England is one of the countries in the United Kingdom.
Oh, yeah,
so
because Scotland's part of it.
Scotland is part of it.
And
Wales is part of
Wales.
it. And Northern Ireland is part of the UK.
But not South Ireland.
Ireland is its own country and its own thing. Northern Ireland, because of complicated colonialism-based reasons that have nothing to do with me, don't fucking come for me about it.
Okay, but why don't they call Ireland South Ireland?
Because if you were from a place and then your colonizers said, we're going to call this place Northern Ireland, why would you then go, great, we'll call our place Southern Ireland? They're like, we are Irish, and we think that Northern Ireland should be a part of Ireland.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
So Ireland is a place.
Please don't make me explain the Troubles. It's going to be really long.
Cut it up.
This is not what this podcast is.
They cut it up.
Yeah.
And then the top part goes, we're Northern Ireland.
Yes.
And we're not part of Ireland. And then Ireland was like, okay, cool.
Well, they didn't really say, okay, cool. They said, well, your guns are bigger than ours. So
I don't know. I just think it's wild. There's a
it.
South Carolina and a North Carolina. There's no Carolina.
Yeah, but that's also stupid. There's a North Dakota and a South Dakota. There's 5 people that live in each of those states.
You're
that
right.
should be one state. And maybe not a state at all. I'm stupid and a comedian. Don't come for me.
Everyone's going to come
but
for
I
you.
am
You're
right.
saying states shouldn't exist? Anyway. Okay. So did you date when you did university in the UK?
I didn't have like a serious boyfriend through university. I don't know really why. I just was like, I think honestly a lot of it was, and this is something that we had in common, was insanely undiagnosed ADHD.
Oh yeah, I was pretty bad.
Yeah. That I was like barely hanging on.
It's tough. Whenever I forget to take my medicine, I was like, oh my God, I was like this every day, the whole day.
Awful.
Just fucking annoying.
So annoying. I'm annoying medicated.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and like not doing my work and like running around and drinking so much.
Yeah.
I had a fun time. I had a really fun time. I just did not have a significant other during that fun time.
Did you date at all? Like, you said you didn't have like a long
In
term.
England, there's a different sort of structure to dating.
What's the structure in England?
So in England, it's so easy.
Oh.
You have sex with somebody and then you go, do you want to keep doing this? And if they say yes, that's your boyfriend.
And there's no like talk?
There's no talk. It might have changed because of the bullshittery around like dating apps and stuff.
Yeah.
But certainly when I was there, it was a very immediate situation. Not that people didn't do like friends with benefits or anything like that.
But like everybody was in agreement.
It was
that,
everybody. There was no like. There's this weird hierarchy of dating in the States that I've lived here for 20 years and I still don't have a full handle on.
Okay, talking. There's a talking
stage.
And that can last a year.
Sure. But then there's a dating stage. But when you're dating somebody, that's not. You can be dating multiple people at the same time, and that's normal. And if you have a problem with that, that's on you.
Yes. Because you have to have a talk.
And then at that point, you're actually in a relationship?
I guess, but like, I guess everybody has to agree. So to my knowledge, there's talking, which is just like casual. We like, maybe every couple months we talk or whatever. And then there's dating where it's like, I see you like once a week. And then you have a talk where you're like, I guess this is a thing. And then you see each other more than once a week.
Sure.
I don't know.
We're 40 years old.
It's confusing. I'm 72 years old. And I'm like, when will I fucking get the hang of this?
Somebody tell us the rules. Nobody told us and we're just out here raw dogging it.
Truly.
Literally and figuratively.
Yeah, I'll raw dog you. Oh, yeah, I don't like Anyway, so you do a show called Dimension 20.
I do.
Which
Great
is
segue.
Dungeons and Dragons.
It is Dungeons and Dragons.
Are there any nerds who like get into your like DMs who are like
none at all?
Wait, really?
None at all.
Huh.
And to be fair, I don't know if dating a fan is necessarily for me.
Sure.
I'm not fully close to it, but like also my DMs are closed. And let me tell you why my DMs are closed. to protect myself from the DMs that I get from very lovely, very well-meaning, kind people who tell me, thank you so much. I was going to kill myself. And then I found your show. And I feel very lucky that I am.
Wait, how many DMs have you gotten?
Sometimes multiple a day.
I was going to kill myself until I saw you playing make-believe.
Yes.
Not to like minimize it. Because entertainment can change lives. It
can really change lives. And I'm very happy that people are figuring out like, oh, I was in an abusive cycle with my parents and I saw your show and that made me realize that I needed, great. I absolutely adore that. It is bad for my mental health.
Oh, yeah.
To suddenly I'm like, well, do I have to do something? Can I help more? And then I die.
Then
I kill myself because of the burden of responsibility
that I have. We have very different experiences with fans. My fans are like, I showed my arms today, even though I'm fat. And I'm like, you go, girl. No one's ever like, you stop me from killing myself. I can't imagine someone being like, wow, you talking about your pussy really, really dragged me out of my depths of despair. I guess dating a fan would be complicated because then you have to ask yourself, it's like, do you like me?
Or do you like,
the gnome I created? I don't know.
Yeah.
I've only played Dungeons and Dragons once.
I really think you'd be great. It's just improv. It's just improv with dice that like give you like a randomizing element to the improv. And you're great at improv.
When I played, I was an elf who looked like Naomi Campbell, and I would cut the Achilles heel of people.
That's great. That's great. That's a perfect character. No.
Wait, do you play the same character or different characters?
No, it's every season. Well, we've done a few like repeat seasons, but generally we do. It's sort of like an American Horror Story type situation. We're playing completely different characters in completely different situations each season.
Yes.
So it's like a 20-episode season. We'll come up with a completely new situation each time.
I get it. That's nice. Wait, okay. When did you have your first boyfriend? I want to get back to love. Isn't that fun?
God.
Fun little segue.
Yeah. I have had such bad luck with boyfriends. I think that the first one that was like, oh, this is a boyfriend was like an improv teacher in Chicago. Sad. Don't date your improv teacher. We've all done it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think that's maybe the best advice you could give someone taking an improv class.
And I do think
Don't fuck that man. He's not as funny as you think he is.
And he doesn't think you're as funny as you
he's just ha-ha-haing so he can slip it right in.
Yeah. And then I was really in Chicago. I'd been in New York for a little bit, waiting tables, and like just figuring out how to be an adult and not really like I'm supposed to be out here doing things with my life, but I can barely hang on. Again, the ADHD was hitting really hard. Had to go back to England for a little family emergency, as sometimes happens, and then did not have enough money to come back to New York. So I moved to Chicago, which is where my mom was living. My stepdad was teaching at the University of Chicago at the time. So I was taking improv classes in Chicago. And then as soon as I made enough money to move back to New York, I was like, bye.
Bye. Gotta get out of here.
Goodbye. Sorry. I don't actually like you that much.
Well, did you hook up with anyone in your improv classes?
I did not, but only because there was nobody in any of my improv classes that I wanted to hook up with.
Fair.
I also like when I am having like a one night stand, I like there to be a separation of church and state.
I get that. You don't want to walk into a theater and being like, hello.
Like I didn't want to be like, oh no, now I suddenly am in 401 with you, and I thought that I
could escape you.
I could escape you, and then I ghosted you, and now I have to have a 401 class.
Wait,
with you
ghost people?
I have ghosted people. I am not a serial ghoster.
I can't. I'm a people pleaser, and then I feel really bad. And when I think about it, I'm like, no, these people actually care that I didn't want to see them again. But I'm like, best of luck. I just really wish you the best, and I had a lot of fun, and best of luck. Lots of best of luck is what I say to people.
Here's the thing. Is ghosting a one-night stand bad?
If
Like,
they
if you're-
text you again, I kind of think so.
I guess so, but it's also like, did you think that this was going to be more than a one-night stand?
Yes. I'm always believing that a one-night stand will lead to something else.
I'm so sorry.
I am always just like, maybe this person will love me, which is, sad.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. But I did hook up with a lot of like improv people. So like I'd like constantly be in like rooms where I'm like, oh, I've hooked up with multiple people in this room.
I have hooked up with improv people. It's not like I haven't, but I was like, I was careful about it and quiet about it.
No,
and
I
even
get
then
it.
I was like, shit.
I once matched with this guy on OkCupid. That's how long ago it was.
Wow.
And he was like, oh, I've seen you perform. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And he's like, do you want to go out? And I was like, sure. And then this is a person that I kind of ghosted. I didn't really respond. And then he walked off the elevator when I was working at UCB. And I was like, ah!
Oh, no.
And I dove under the desk.
I need for people to know how small this desk was.
It's a very small desk.
It's not
and
a big
very
desk.
close to the elevator.
And also, like, you can just walk around the back of the desk
You sure
and fully
can.
see that person.
You sure can. And I remember looking up and there he was. And I was like, he saw me. And I was like, hey. And he was like, hi. And then I don't think he said anything then, but then we were like in a class together and it was so
no. Do I know
deeply,
this person?
no.
Great.
So deeply awkward. And then I ended up dropping the class because I was so weirded out by the scenes he would initiate with me. Or like I would be on the back line and I'd look up and he'd be staring at me. God. And I was like, oh man.
There was a guy in my 101 class. 101 class is notoriously filled with psychos.
Yeah.
But I think even among 101 classes, pretty good, this psycho.
Mm-hmm.
So this was a 40-year-old man who had been a doctor.
Oh.
Very mysterious about why he wasn't a doctor anymore, which is always a good sign. And now made his money by doing stand-up busking. So he would come into class with like a granny cart with a tiny amp and a microphone because he would be out on the streets of New York doing busking stand-up.
So he would just do stand-up on the street and like get money? What is busking?
Oh, busking is like,
Is that an
English
word?
term? It's just any like street musician or street performer is busking.
Maybe other people knew what it was. I sure didn't.
Great. Wow, this is a real cultural exchange.
I'm
that we're having,
learning.
Nicole.
Northern Ireland, don't like it. Busking, that's when you're in the streets having a nice time.
Yeah. And he, in the middle of any scene that he did with a woman, and there were a lot of very young women in this class because it was a summer intensive. And so it was like a lot of like, it's my last year of high school. I'm going to college next year. In the middle of every single scene, no matter what the scene was about, he'd be like, I find you very attractive.
Oh, no.
It's like, sir, I'm playing your dad.
Oh, no. Honestly, though,
the teacher
funny choice.
Also, to be clear, didn't do anything about this. And that's on him.
I want to know who this teacher is.
I will tell you after the podcast.
Okay, fair. Because I probably know who they are.
You absolutely know who they are.
But honestly, I would love the challenge of that. Of an older man being like, I find you very attractive. Dad, you can't say that.
Now
I'm your son.
Yeah. But it was also like 101, like lower level improv. And I'm sure you got this as well because you don't fit into the I'm an improviser box in the same way as I don't. In that we're not like sad white men who are wearing shirts that their mom bought for Christmas 25 years ago and have like rips in them. The struggle that I had to make people not make the game of the scene me being British.
That is funny.
Look, it's funny sometimes.
Because I'm like,
but if we're like, hey, we're in a family scene, and then somebody's like, and why is our daughter British?
That is funny.
It's funny once. It's fun. It's not funny in every scene that you do in every class.
I guess. I guess. I think you're just not seeing the joy in your jolly voice. No, I'm kidding. No, that would be very
It's annoying. It was annoying.
No, I get that. Okay, so you didn't really date in England. Did you date a lot in New York?
I don't date that much. I am picky.
What is your type?
I would always rather be somebody who is funny, who isn't intimidated by me being funny.
Okay.
And that is why I'm so picky.
Okay.
Actually, they don't even need to be that funny. I think it's more, I get a lot of early days of dating, a guy going, oh, you're funny.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nobody ever says it out loud to me.
Nobody that's because,
ever has been like, wow, you're funny.
I think that's because you, part of the fantasy of you is how funny you are. People look at me and go, I get to date a classy British blonde lady. Look at me. And I think that so many men at the beginning of dating, and women do this too, but that's not my problem, are really just looking at the shell and like the list of like, how is me dating this person going to make me look cooler?
You know what? I did just read something somewhere, don't know where, where it was like, love is not how that person makes you feel. Love is like what you would do for them or something.
Yeah.
Like the other person's not supposed to make you happy. You're supposed to like come into it happy.
Yeah.
And then you're supposed to find someone who like compliments you, but not like complete you. I think that was the gist of it. It's tough when you read things and don't retain all the time.
We're doing great. We're medicated sometimes.
Sometimes.
We're not annoying at all anymore.
I mean, I was out with a guy that I was dating and I was being a true Looney Tune. And then he was like, did you take a nap? And I was like, no. He was like, did you eat anything today? I was like, no. And then he went, oh, okay.
Oh, goo gaga.
I just thought it was funny that he was like, I got to get to the bottom of why you're acting like this. I was like, wow, that's nice. I did find it nice because I was like, oh, I think I am hungry. And maybe I could be normal after that.
See, that seems really attractive to me, to somebody who is like willing to take the time instead of going, you know what, actually, I
can't do this.
Yeah.
Because I've dated a lot of people who are like, I can't.
This is not,
a lot.
This is too much.
This is just
you're talking
the most.
A lot.
I love to yap.
You're a giggler. You're a yapper.
Ugh. Wait, do you have any icks?
Oh my God, so many.
What? Give them to me.
I think dressing like an improv guy is a real ick to me, which did make not dating at UCB very easy. Like the improv uniform of like disgusting t-shirt, disgusting plaid, disgusting hoodie, one pair of H&M jeans that you wear every day and you only wear one pair of shoes.
Drag them.
They deserve to be dragged.
Yes, diva,
this is radical love.
Them.
This is truly radical love. I want you to dress better for yourselves, but also for me.
That is so funny. I did find that like I would dress up for shows and I'd be like,
I not only would dress up for shows. I had men tell me the way that you're dressing is making people think that you're not serious and making it's distracting from the comedy. And I was just dressing not like them.
Distracting from the comedy.
And unfortunately, if I did dress like them, they were nicer to me.
Ew, I don't like that.
I hated it. We're not there anymore.
That's
it's
rude.
Fine. We made it and they didn't. It's great.
Siobhan, real quick.
Yeah.
We gotta take a break.
We gotta take a break.
Oh, baby, this podcast is brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform to create a stunning website for whatever you're into. Whether it's selling your products, showcasing your talent, or building your online brand, Squarespace has everything you need to make it happen. First up, Squarespace has this amazing design intelligence feature that'll help you create a custom, gorgeous website in just a few minutes. You just answer a few questions and bam! They'll help you design a site that's polished and personal. without you needing to code a single thing. Squarespace makes it so easy to sell content. If you're out there creating courses, exclusive videos, or just blog posts, Squarespace lets you gate that content behind a paywall. Set your price, charge a one-time fee or subscriptions, and watch the money roll in. Plus, Squarespace Payments makes it ridiculously easy to get paid. You can set it all up in just a few clicks, and your customers get all the options. Apple Pay, Afterpay, direct debit, you name it. It makes selling stuff so dang easy. So what are you waiting for? Head to squarespace.com/dateme for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use the code DATEME to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. That's squarespace.com/dateme with code DATEME. Make your dreams a reality and let Squarespace handle the hard part. All right, let's get serious for a second because this is so important. A lot of people struggle with eating disorders or disordered eating, and they might not even realize it. Maybe you're always jumping on super strict diets, feeling totally out of control when you eat, or obsessing over exercise and how your body looks. Sound familiar? These thoughts and behaviors can really take over your life, but they don't have to. That's where Equip comes in. Equip is a virtual, evidence-based eating disorder treatment program that helps you heal your relationship with food and your body, all from the comfort of your home. Here's the best part. Equip gives you a whole team of experts, a therapist, a dietitian, a medical provider, and even a mentor who's been through it themselves. They know exactly what you're going through, and they're here to support you. Equip meets you where you are. You don't have to upend your life or step away from responsibilities to get the care that you need. It's completely tailored to your environment and your identity. Oh, and it's covered by insurance. Treats people of all ages and backgrounds. And get this, there's no wait list. You can start right away. To learn more about Equip's virtual eating disorder treatment, visit equip.health/dateme. That's equip.health/dateme. And we're back. Can I tell you the first time I saw your name written down, I was how the fuck do you say this person's name?
Look,
I thought it was Sahobian.
That's a reasonable guess. It's back to Ireland, baby. That's an Irish.
When I look at it, I'm like, yeah, Sahobian.
Yes.
How do we get Siobhan out of that?
Well, Gaelic is a very different language to English.
Do you speak Gaelic?
Not in any way, shape, or form. I'm not Irish at all. My parents are just hippies and thought the name was cool.
How do you know so much about Northern Ireland? Just
I'm
kidding.
From England. You can see. How do you know so much about
nothing?
New York.
Nothing. Because I'm American. God, I don't know nothing. Wait, you wanted to be an archaeologist. What the fuck is that? That's like digging up bones and dusting them?
Digging up bones and dusting them. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So
I didn't want to be an archaeologist. It was a compromise with my parents of like, I wanted to go and be an actor, and they were like, that's not real. Go and get a real degree. And so I got the least real degree that I could possibly get. I did work as an archaeologist for a while. It is more of a real job in England than it is here.
Real? Oh, I guess because England's older.
We have
more
old
bones.
Stuff. There's like laws about stuff. There's a lot of laws in England about like if you want to build anything, an archaeologist has to take a look at it. And sometimes it's just an archaeologist looking at a map and going, yeah, sure, I don't care. There's nothing there. Or it's like sometimes an archaeologist has to come and stand next to the digger as you're digging, and you have to pay for that archaeologist. And sometimes it's a full, like the big dig that I did was in my hometown. They knocked down a very ugly 1960s shopping center and to rebuild it as a nicer shopping center. And they had to do 2 years of archaeology and pay for that before they were allowed to build anything, because Bath is a World Heritage Site and there's Roman shit and all kinds of stuff.
So did you find any cool bones?
Not at all. I struck out so hard in archaeology. I think if I'd found one cool thing, there's a possibility that I'd still be doing it. The amount of drainage ditches that I discovered, the amount of, is it a rock or is it a rock that somebody made into a tool that I discovered? I truly found nothing in really interesting places. And even to the point where like we would dig, I would be there, nothing. I would leave, they would find the fucking treasures of the Sierra Madre. You know, like.
Really?
I think I was like a bad luck.
Maybe it's just because you weren't meant to be there.
I really was not meant to be there.
Did you meet any hot archaeologists?
Yes. There was one hot archaeologist, but actually he was a classicist. A classicist. He was like Latin and Greek. Like the language, like languages. a linguist, a
A
cunning linguist.
classicist?
Yes.
And that's a linguist?
So I did a summer abroad
Mm-hmm.
in Greece.
Ooh, where?
Yes.
Mykonos?
All
Because I
Yeah, me
fucking
and Lindsay
love
Lohan.
Mykonos.
No, it was an academic study.
Okay.
So we were like getting up.
Thessaloniki?
No islands, mainland Greece,
Athens.
Athens, Delphi,
Thessaloniki,
Corinth.
I think, is mainland.
It's very possible. My memory of it was a long time ago.
Fair.
And it was mostly women on this trip. There were a couple of boys on the trip. We don't need to talk about them.
Okay.
Not worth talking about. But the guy that was one of the guides on the trip was a guy who now does TV stuff. That we were all like, he's so dreamy.
He's a presenter?
He's a presenter.
That's an English way of saying host.
He's a host. He's a host of like archaeology shows now. And he was dreamy.
Oh my goodness.
But then I don't know. You go home. That's the end. I don't know.
Okay, so there was
Nothing
no
happened.
romance.
There was no romance. It was just 20 very horny 19-year-olds going, that is the love of my life. I would follow him to hell, and I am following him to the entrance to hell in Greece.
I mean, there is nothing better than being young and being like, this old man is so hot.
And like old man, he was like 25.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but that's old to like a 15-year-old or like a 16-year-old.
Right.
Like I loved one of my teachers. It was my U.S. history teacher, and I was like obsessed with him. And anytime he smiled at me, I'd be like, oh my God, that smile was for me. And it's like, this man he felt nothing for me. No. Like absolutely nothing. But I was like, one day I'm going to get old and I'm going to love you. And I have not returned back to Middletown, New Jersey to see.
Maybe he's waiting for you. Maybe that's why you've been single this whole time.
If Mr. Falf is waiting for me, I would die.
This is it.
I wonder if he's old now.
Well, if he was 23 when you were 16, that's an entirely reasonable adult.
And I'm 72, so he's at least...
He could be dead.
90?
That's how it works.
Math?
That's how it works.
Wait, Siobhan.
Yeah.
I have a question.
She's looking at the clipboard. She's reading the words.
I'm looking at my notes. So wait, okay. So you moved here.
Yeah.
Did you keep the archaeology going when you got here?
No.
You immediately dropped it?
I worked as an archaeologist, realized, oh no, I can't do this for the rest of my life. This is gross. And you also get paid no money. You get paid no money and you're just covered in mud the whole time. You're a construction worker. You're wearing a high-vis vest. I'm too glamorous for archaeology, unfortunately.
I get that. But I met a garbage driver. A garbage driver? A garbage truck driver.
Yes.
And he was like flirting with me hardcore.
Okay.
And I was like, I could ride in a truck. And I don't know why I was like, that was my immediate thought. I was like, I want to get in that truck with him. You want to get in the
truck with him.
Yes.
But think about what your shower will look like.
Yeah, maybe I'll be stinky sometimes, but like, imagine riding off into the sunset in a garbage truck.
I think being in a garbage truck would be easier than archaeology.
You think?
Yes, because you get to sit down a lot of that.
But why can't you bring a chair to the side?
You just can't.
Like a cashier at a grocery store, you guys stand.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you're like in the mud. You're like squatting most of the time.
Squatting?
Yeah, you're popping a squat. You get very buff in very weird ways doing archaeology.
Do you have like Megan Thee Stallion knees? Well, I guess you haven't done it in a while.
I haven't done it in a while. But like my thighs got very beefy, big arms because you're wheeling around like wheelbarrows full of rocks.
I don't know. This is hot.
But then a little pouch of a belly because you do no ab work whatsoever and you're also drinking a lot of beer. And then the tan lines.
I'm kind of into it.
You're wearing boots, steel-toed boots, and then shorts. So you're only tanned in between those tan lines.
Siobhan,
and then when you lean over,
not like
you get like a line on your back.
I'm like
from
into
when your
this.
T-shirt rides up.
That's fun. I have the ADHD. If I was dating an archeologist and they were naked, I'd be like, oh my God, I could draw you. And then I would draw things.
Draw them like one of your French archaeologists?
Yeah, I would like draw little socks on them. I'd have a nice time.
Wow, you are a baby. You just want to go to a restaurant where there's a coloring component.
Are you kidding? Yes.
And
anytime there's like kids
that's
stuff,
your like
give
ideal
it to me.
situation. Is like they give you a little 4-pack of crayons.
Yes.
And a chicken finger.
I went to the Cheesecake Factory the other day.
It's a classic.
And I was like, do you have a children's menu? Because I didn't want a big burgie. I wanted a little burgie, but I didn't want a slider.
Well, I think that at Cheesecake Factory, that makes a lot of sense because the children's size portions are a normal adult size portion.
Yes, they give you too much. But you want to know what my favorite thing at Cheesecake Factory is?
I would love to know what your favorite thing at Cheesecake Factory is.
It is an apple crumble. And there's nutty topping on top.
Yeah.
And if you get it with extra nutty topping, it's really fun. It's so good.
Nicole Byer loves the nutty topping.
We skipped over this. I do love the nutty topping because I love nuts. So what are your icks? We skipped over. So it's boys who dress poorly.
Negging. I hate negging.
And negging's when like someone's like, you stupid bitch.
Yeah, just somebody being mean to me. I'm like, great, I'll never talk to you again. And I think that that's so much a part of dating culture now. I think that is also why I don't date very much. Because as soon as somebody is mean to me one time, I'm like, you're dead to me.
But like how mean? What is an example?
Well, here's the thing.
We're dating.
I think the difference is you can be mean to me because you know the difference between razzing somebody and actually being mean.
What's a mean thing that someone has said to you whilst negging?
I don't know because immediately it happens. Just like flames. I just the world turns red. The level of rage that is in my body if somebody is mean to me, that it's like internally all I want to do is either kill them or cry. And I can't do either of those things. So I have to walk away.
Okay.
Like it really hurts my feelings so much.
I can't even think of a time I was negged. I don't even know what a neg sounds like.
People aren't negging you? Maybe because they're like, Nicole's too funny. I can't neg her.
Nobody has ever said you're funny.
Nicole, you know that
I know I'm funny. I'm having a nice time.
I think that if I've ever had a conversation about who the funniest person is, I think that you've maybe won 98% of
Oh my
those.
God, I love being a winner.
You're you're
nice.
the funniest person.
Listen.
It's not nice. It's unfortunately true. I wish I was funnier. If I could beat you,
funny.
oh my God, thank you so much.
Wait,
so
what's
nice.
another ick?
That is a big one.
Yeah,
I think not having the wherewithal to plan.
Okay.
I think is a huge deal for me of like I don't have kids. I've chosen not to have kids. I don't want to be a mother to a man. And just the very basic ability of like planning a date is another hurdle that almost all men seem to fail at. And
but
it seems
here's
so
the
easy.
thing.
Then it's like, hey, do you want to go to the movies and then grab a drink?
Yes.
How
That's
hard
easy.
is that? It's so easy. It doesn't have to be
to be like, what dates do you want
I know.
planned?
It doesn't even have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be crazy imaginative. Just like somebody who is willing to take initiative in that way and not just like, sex. Which I do. I do want to have sex.
Yes, we
But I
all
also
do. Unless you're asexual, and that's
and we
okay.
support it. We love our asexual fans. Yeah. But yeah, the ability to plan and have a fun time. I really have had a hard time in the last few years of people being like, it's like they're acting like I'm trying to lock them away from the world.
That's what a relationship is. You're
Which
locked
is like,
away from the world. You can't go out there.
I want you to stay in my basement. I will throw you little scraps, and occasionally I will show you one titty if you're very good.
Why just one?
I don't like the other one. I don't
come
want
in
them
pairs.
to see it.
Wait, what's another ick?
Wait, what are your icks? Do you talk about your icks?
Yeah, when a dude goes down on you and kicks his little leg. I don't like that. That's upsetting to me.
That is upsetting. Not
Takes me right out of it.
Not cleaning, not being clean is like a huge ick to me, especially if like
what kind of
straight
clean?
men have in the last 10 years discovered that they like their asses eaten, and they will ask for that even if it's crusty. And
Siobhan,
I simply am not going to do that.
have you encountered a crusty butt?
Are you
a
kidding?
mud butt?
Are you kidding? They're out there, Nicole.
Have you had a mud butt?
I've seen it. I've not touched it. I've certainly not put my tongue on it.
When someone bends over and they have a muddy butt? What do you say?
I'm too English to say anything.
Wait, so then, okay, so a guy's like, eat my butt. And you go, okay. And then he bends over and his butt's muddy. Then you're not going to say anything?
Then I would say something. If there was a specific instruction given and I didn't want to do it, then I would say something. But here's the thing. That doesn't go very well.
Well, no, nobody wants to hear they have a muddy butt.
They don't want to hear that they have a muddy butt, but they also don't want to do anything about it.
But here's the thing.
Like, they would rather
if you
cry.
have a muddy, has a man cried with you?
Yeah. Have you ever had men cry? No.
No, I think we're leading different lives.
I really do think we are. But like the level of defensiveness and like you're like, again, I think so many men, I think because I have this like sweet round face.
I also have a round face.
People think that I'm like nice and like I'm gonna mother them in some way or be like sweet and kind. And actually I do think like saying, hey, you should clean your ass is sweet and kind.
I think it's nice.
But it's not taken.
I would have so many questions. I'd be like, doesn't your butt itch?
I'm sure it does.
Also,
I do also think that this is specifically a white man problem. This is not a problem that I've encountered with anything other than white men.
Yeah, it might just be a white man problem.
It's not just the butt, but like generally there's like a level of like if you have disgusting dirty toenails and you don't like clip them properly or deal with the fungal infection that you clearly have or whatever nasty.
Wow.
There's so many men with like absolutely rancid feet.
We're
just
really
missing
different.
these people.
We
got to go out.
I gotta find some nasty toes. Imagine that's like what I'm into.
Like, and then like they're on your bed and you're like, please don't touch that. Please don't put your disgusting fungus feet on my bed.
There was a lady who worked at a butt doctor's office. What's it called?
A podiatrist?
No, that's feet. a proctologist. And she said that like a lot of times men will hop up on the thing with their butts out, sit down, and leave skid marks.
I have a friend who was seeing somebody, and to be fair, this is he came over to her house twice. So after the first time, I do think somewhat on her. But they had sex. First time she noticed afterwards there were skid marks on the bed. She was like, maybe this is a one-off situation. I don't know.
One-off? If someone left shit marks in my bed because they had shit just sitting in their butt, I'd be like, no.
But then the second time it happened,
would be confusing for me because I'd be like, is that my makeup or their butt?
The second time it happened, she was like, hey, what's up with this? And what he told her was, I'm too big to wipe my ass. And I have seen a picture of this man, a normal-sized man.
I am too big to wipe my ass?
That he had convinced himself that he was so fat that he could not wipe his own ass. Normal-sized man, or at least that was like a reasonable excuse to tell another human being.
I'm fat, and I've been bigger. I've been smaller. I've always wiped my butt.
You always wipe your butt. And I'm sure you would find a way.
I watch my 600-pound life a lot because I love Dr. Now. He's so funny and kind of ruthless. But like all of those people find ways to wipe their butt.
Look, if you want to, you find a way. And if you have to do a cloth on a stick,
there's no shame in that. That's just how you wipe your butt.
That's how you wipe your butt.
Boy, oh boy, I'm really upset.
It's really upsetting, right?
I'm too big to wipe my butt. You're never too big to do anything.
I've had too many stories like that. Too many stories of men. And like, I've read also stories online, so who knows how true they are, but of so many men being like, it's gay. It's gay to touch your butt, including wiping. I know. in conclusion, that's a big ick for me.
Oh my God. It's gay to wipe. I feel like it gets itchy if you don't like wash and wipe your butt.
Agree.
Right?
But I do think that they're itchy all the time because they're also using like 13-in-1 hair and body wash. They're not moisturizing. Like maybe they just think that being kind of itchy all the time is normal.
I don't think I could be a man.
I think you'd be excellent at it because you wouldn't behave like this.
I guess, but I have the knowledge now. But if I was raised, but I think my mother would have told me about lotion.
I would have hoped so. Again, I do think that this is more of a white person problem than a black person problem because black boys do get taught how to moisturize because that's
and
like
we use
an important part
and
of black
stuff.
culture. Yes.
I love my washcloth.
I love a washcloth. I don't understand why you wouldn't use a washcloth.
Whenever I'm in a hotel and they don't have a washcloth, I'm like, wait, what? Why?
Yeah.
Why? How am I supposed to bathe?
That's also good. Like, how do you take your makeup off without a washcloth?
I don't know, but I will tell you this. I have used full-size towels as a washcloth.
As you should.
Where I just fold it up and it's sopping wet and I'm like just really getting down into
You're
it.
getting your workout done at the same time as exfoliating.
Wait, so what turns you on? What is a thing that's like, okay, Siobhan's ready to go. I like this.
I mean, it's so ephemeral. I do think it is quite ephemeral.
What's that word?
Like, it's hard to put my finger on it.
Okay.
I do think that being able to carry the bit is really important to me. I also think that I don't know, just generally being like nice and kind and funny is very, very, very attractive to me. And then, I don't know, like somebody who's willing to make the first move, I think is very important to me. I kind of like being a little princess in that way. It's my most like, hee, I'm a girl kind of.
Opening the door. It's like, oh my goodness.
I'm
possibly
so
done that myself.
Tiny.
I'm small.
So tiny. That kind of stuff I care less about, like of like, pulling out the chair for me. And then I don't know, it's like being good at sex makes sex more fun, and that seems like a really stupid thing to say. But
But can't you just tell somebody things?
I absolutely can tell people things. I don't think that doesn't always go the way that I want it to. I don't know whether I am saying it wrong, but I do think that a lot of men resent it when I tell them that they are doing it wrong.
Okay.
It could
pretend I'm a man and I just went down on you, but I bit you by accident.
Ow! Ow, Nicole!
Sorry about it.
Ow!
Do you have any notes?
Yeah, my note is get out of my house and take your disgusting feet off my bed.
Oh, sorry. Okay, bye. Wait, that's what you would say? You wouldn't?
No.
Well, I guess I picked an extreme circumstance.
That is an extreme circumstance. I think that I get a lot of, maybe because I give off somewhat like, again, like maternal or teachery sort of vibes, that when I am giving them what I think to be helpful notes, and especially in a one-night stand situation where you're like, I don't know this person at all.
Yes.
It reads to them as me telling them that they suck in bed and are a bad person and like are morally bad and should maybe like go die in a ditch.
But are you saying those words?
No.
What are you saying?
Not at all. Higher? Lower?
Oh.
I'm not
That's
there yet.
wild.
Normal things. I think that I just am having one-night stands with the wrong people, I'm realizing, or was in my 20s. I really don't do that anymore because I've had so many, like, not even mediocre one-night stands, but like,
I've had a lot of
actively
bad
like, hey, you need to stop choking me. I know you've watched it in porn. You need to stop doing it. Hey, once again, please stop choking me.
Oh,
this is not what I asked for.
I feel like choking is a thing where you have to ask.
Choking,
you gotta.
Absolutely.
Because it's not like baseline sex.
That is not like baseline sex.
Kinky.
And I'm not against kink. Choking for me is like well, I'm not horny at all. In fact, I'll never have sex again.
Well,
I
also like
hate
in a
choking.
one-night stand where like I don't know you because there has to be a level of trust.
Yes.
But also I am a girl who's like, yeah, choke me. Like, first date, whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'll leave this world.
Maybe this is it. Maybe this
fine.
is
whatever.
Yeah.
But I do think that like it can't be like a baseline thing. You
have
have
to ask.
Absolutely have to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, dating is scary.
Yeah.
You're like literally sitting across the table from somebody that
a
you're like,
full
I don't
stranger.
fucking know you.
I don't know you. And then we're going to go back to your place. I'm going to be like, oh, this is a mattress on the floor.
Oh my God. If I ever
That
see
is
another
also
mattress
another
on the
ick.
floor.
Is a mattress on the floor. And especially now we're fully grown adults.
We're 78 years
We're
old.
12 years old.
I mean, how could you? I'm like, how is that I had my mattress on the floor for like a couple months before I was
Sure.
like, great, I saved $100. I'm going to go get a bed frame.
They're so cheap.
But like, it's not comfortable.
It's really not.
I simply don't get it.
I don't get it either. And then you have to like flump down onto it.
Yes, it's truly wild. I'm like, there's nothing sexy about flopping down onto like a bed on the floor
and
being
then they
like,
have
come down
thousands
here.
of dollars in records and like video games.
Yes, and like little Funko Pops.
Oh, a Funko Pop specifically is maybe my biggest ick. I dated
they're
somebody who had
weird.
Funko Pops and he was so hot that I was like, I just have to deal with that. It's so
Were they on display?
Nicole. Yeah, they were. Yeah,
Like around the room, so like they're all looking at you?
They're dead eyes just staring at you while you fuck.
Well, I did something.
He was so beautiful. He was so beautiful. It was okay.
No, I get it.
Just about.
Sometimes beautiful people, you're like, that's fine.
It's fine.
It's whatever.
The icks are different. It's graded on a scale.
I recently was going through pictures, and I was married for a little bit, and I wore my
course,
blue
yes.
contacts in my
Fascinating.
wedding photos.
Yes.
And I was like, who let me do this? Who?
Hey.
Who? I
that
look
man
so bad.
paid your debts.
No,
And
I
he
took
loved him.
improv classes. I also had these nasty little bangs. I was like, everything looks bad. And I was just walking around like this free.
You looked great.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. There was so many several hairstyles that I had that were nasty. Oh my God. Wait, so tell me what are you looking for? You want someone who's hot, who's smart,
Yes.
who's nice.
How hot is that? In Los Angeles, it's full of hot, smart, nice people.
It is. Everyone is so
Well,
kind
no, hang
here.
on.
So nice.
There are a lot of hot people.
Yes.
The smart and the nice is a little bit more
Are
challenging.
you on the
Actually,
apps?
more smart and nice is more important to me than hot. Hot is very fun, but kind of gets old a little quickly.
You know what I really have you seen Mask?
The
Cher movie?
no.
I
It was
have
like
not
the Jim
either.
Carrey movie?
No. So I haven't either, but I watched a trailer for it.
Great.
And it's about a kid with like a face deformity or whatever, but he
Sure.
seems like so cool.
Yeah.
And
I've
I was like,
dated
I think I
a
want to
lot
date
of
like a
people who
little
are much less attractive than me,
little
and
man.
I will probably do it again.
who looks like a Keebler elf.
The
That's what I
challenge
want.
with dating somebody less hot than you is that then they are like, well, if I can date her, maybe I can date somebody else. Or they're like, I can't date you because you're too hot and it makes me feel bad. Like those are often the
Have
two.
people said that to your face?
Yeah,
People are so honest with you.
they are, and actually, I don't like it. I would rather they lie.
Oh my God, that's wild.
Yeah.
Wait, are you on the apps? Are you on
Not
Tinder?
at all. I find the apps to be fully useless to me.
Okay.
Because men don't know how to have a conversation.
Yeah, but how long do you want to have a conversation before you meet up?
I need to have one conversation.
Like what?
Just like, hey, let's keep up a conversation. We are volleying back and forth. Actually, honestly, that is important to me.
Really?
Like, really important to me. Being able to have a conversation.
Like before you meet?
Yes.
Huh.
That's unfortunately a thing that I find very attractive. And I find the inability to have a conversation very unattractive.
What if they're not good at texting? What if they're good at in
That's
person?
Their problem. Like, you're on an app where it is a text-based app.
Because there's no phone-based apps to call. And there's no app for you to meet up with someone immediately. That's Grindr.
that is why I can't do the apps, because
Okay.
I just got so tired, and I would barely ever meet anybody because for me, being able to have a conversation honestly is the most attractive thing.
But what if they can have a conversation in person?
Then they should practice being able to do that same skill on text.
But what if they
That
make
is
you
a skill-based issue.
But is texting that important?
Yes.
Huh.
To me, it is. I don't,
Okay.
I'm not saying that it's important to everybody.
Sure.
But for me personally, if I am holding up 100% of the conversation, because you know this as a funny person, like I can go in and have a good interaction with almost anybody.
Yes.
Where they leave it going, that was great. I need them to do that for me, and I do not get that very often.
Okay. Huh.
Like, the banter is important to me.
I don't mind
Giving
like
the shtick is important to me.
like as long as you answer me, I'm happy. Like you don't have to be good at it. You don't have to like hit me with jokes or whatever.
Yeah.
Just like answer my queries, answer my anxieties. But like in person, if it feels good and you're funny in person, that's good for me.
Yeah, I'm sure 90% of this is me getting in my own way, but it drives me.
I mean, you're not
nuts.
alone. A lot of people are like, yeah, you have to be able to communicate well.
Yes. And it really is like the number one most important thing to me is to be able to maintain a conversation.
So,
and like show that you're interested.
Yes.
You know, I think that being interested, being open is one of the most attractive things that a person can be. And I understand being horny because I am a horny little devil.
I'm horny all the time.
I'm horny all the time.
I'm wet right now.
But like
Just
we
kidding.
can all masturbate. Like if you are just looking for somebody to use as a sex toy, that's great. For a relationship, like it has to be more than that. And I'm not really interested in one night stands. Like I would love to be in a relationship. The process in Los Angeles right now for me to get into that relationship is so hellish.
Yeah.
That I'm like,
It is tough. So wait, are you meeting people like in real life?
no, how would I do that? It's Los Angeles.
I mean, the
People
way I
don't
said
leave
that,
their
I
houses.
truly felt
I'm
like
just
an
not
alien.
dating anybody because people don't leave their houses, and then there's so little work at the moment that you can't even have like a fun little workplace dalliance.
That's a good word. But what if you like got some single gals together and went to the bar?
Because even there, the guys don't know how to talk to women, or I think maybe talk to another human being. I am not unconvinced that they're robots.
The pandemic
and they just kind of
has regressed people's
help.
social skills.
It really didn't help.
No.
But you'd think that the pandemic would make people better at texting, and it didn't do that either.
Huh.
Right? Because, like, we were just
I think
text-based
people
for, like,
just
3
isolated
years.
themselves.
And then they just played
zoomed.
Animal Crossing and got high. And I say this as somebody who played a lot of Animal Crossing and got very
I did
high.
too, but I kept
But,
fishing
like-
and getting boots. It was really upsetting. And like cans, I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? And then I chose a face, but then I was like, I don't want that face. So then Mono had to help me to get a mirror. And I was like, this is such a hard game.
You played for 10 minutes. You
I
played
never
10
got a
minutes of
house.
this game.
I played for like a month. I never got a house.
You played for a month. That's like a day one thing.
I
to
know.
have
Everyone was
happen.
like, I can't believe you don't have a house. And I was like, oh, me too. I can't believe I'm unhoused in Animal Crossing. Jesus Christ. Well, Siobhan, we have reached the end.
Oh.
I have a question, a
Yes.
query, if you will. I've asked almost everybody this. Would you date me?
Nicole, I would date you in a heartbeat. Because here's the thing. You're open. You're intelligent. You know how to carry the bit. You're fun. Can you plan things? I don't know.
Listen,
Sometimes.
I'm an idea factory,
You are an idea factory.
but like
You
execution.
You're an look. This is two carts in need of a horse.
2 carts in need of a horse?
Yes.
I like that. Well, that's it for this. Siobhan, do you have anything that you want to promote?
I don't know. Watch Dimension 20. It's pretty fun. stops people from killing themselves, apparently. But there's other things about it as
Do you
well.
have live shows? You had one.
We have some coming up. We're playing Madison Square Garden in New York City.
That's really fun.
Tickets
When?
are sold out.
Oh, just kidding.
Tickets sold out in 10 minutes.
Honestly, iconic. I've
Pretty
never done that.
wild. So that's on January 25th. I don't know,
For whatever
24th?
reason, I really was hoping you were going to say January 6th. And I was like, yes,
January
a
6th.
celebration.
The insurrection.
I think I'm going to have a party next year for it.
I love that. A dress-up party?
Yeah,
a costume party?
everyone wear your best red, white, and blue. We're going to
Hell
climb
yeah,
some fences.
motherfucker. Hey, I'm an American citizen now, and I love this country.
Yes.
And then we have other shows that are coming up next year, but they're not on sale yet. So
Well,
keep your eyes peeled.
Keep your little dang eyes peeled. If you like this episode of Why Won't You Date Me, you can like it, you can rate it, you can subscribe and stuff. You can give me 5 stars on Apple Podcast. No. Yeah? I don't know. I've done this podcast for so long, and I continuously mess up the intro and the outro all the time.
You're perfect.
Anyway, but if you write me something nasty hitting on me to why won't you date me podcast@gmail.com, I'll read it. No dick pics, because I don't like aggregate it all. Mars does, and she doesn't want no dick pics.
No, nobody wants a dick pic.
I mean,
Nicole does want a dick pic, but she is an outlier in this. This is something that in our 3 million years of friendship,
I'll take it.
She's the only one. She's the only one I know.
But I only really want it next to something for scale. My dearest Nicole, I'm going to eliminate every seat in the world, so the only place you can sit is right on my face.
That's
Love
beautiful.
you.
That's
That is
so
nice.
sweet. That's really romantic.
I like
Are
that.
they single?
I don't know. They're anonymous, so I can't even follow up. But honestly, wouldn't that be wild if I walked around with a person and then every time I sat, they had to become a seat?
It's very Tom Wamsgans from Succession.
I don't watch that.
Nicole.
I've never seen a Succession.
Nicole, watch 3 shows on television. Like, what do you watch? What do you even watch?
I mean, that is a great question. What do I watch?
Porn.
Okay.
Your own reflection. Your dog biting waiters.
Yes, these are all things I watch, but I'm watching Entourage right now. And Jeremy Piven is the actor of our generation.
Nicole.
Okay?
Nicole.
Jeremy Piven is the actor of our...
stop.
He is incredible.
Stop.
He is so good in Entourage. I'm not even kidding. I'm being so earnest and genuine right now. I am on a season where his plugs are having a hard time.
Incredible.
So he's wearing interesting hair pieces.
Sure.
But like...
Flowing in the wind.
That's fine. I get it. Hair is it's a hard topic for some men. So I'm not like really digging in on it, but every episode is different. And then I'm like, but it's not matching in some parts. But honestly, Entourage is a great show. I'm on season 6.
There are 6 seasons.
There's 8 seasons in a movie.
A movie?
Yes. And I think I'm gonna have a party. So I can watch the movie. I'm so excited.
Wow.
It really shows
like
like fellowship and how like men can have like bonds.
Okay. So this is a fantasy. Is that
it's
men...
boy Sex in the City, essentially.
Okay, actually, that does sell it to me.
It's great. Well, bye-bye.
Goodbye.
That was a HeadGum podcast.